afternoon, and good evening to all the attendees from different time zones. Thank you so much for registering for today's live session on reshaping of data storage using artificial intelligence. It's indeed great to see that you all took time out of your busy schedules and are here with us for some important learnings and discussions today. Now, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Shilpa Negi, the team lead for business development and marketing at Saraca Solutions, and also your host for today's session. So before we begin, I would just like to inform you that all the participants will be muted during the live webinar, and you can jot down your questions as we move further with the session, and drop your queries in the chat box or in the Q&A box. And in case any of your queries remain unanswered during the webinar, you can always mail it to us later. Also, our team will be sending the certificate of participation to all the attendees who are here with us today. And we'll also be very happy to share the recorded version of this webinar at the end of the live session. Now, without further ado, let me introduce our lead presenter for the day, Mr. Pramod Reddy. So Pramod is a C++ and shell scripting expert who has handled embedded hardware projects in various industry segments. And he's currently managing complex aerospace and defense projects. And we also have today our panelist for the session, Mr. Kumar Mani. Mr. Mani is a defense technology expert with over 15 years of experience in managing critical projects across various global organizations. So without any further ado, I would now request our presenter Pramod and Mr. Mani to take over the session. Over to you, Pramod.
Hi all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And thanks for joining this webinar, and thanks for giving me such a great opportunity in as a presenter for this presentation. So today our main topic and main webinar will be on the AI, that artificial intelligence, particularly into the reshaping of a data storage technique. So our main agenda will be it goes as a brief overview of AI, and along with that the scalability, data insights, and the other is of AI and its importance in the defense sector. And this is a brief overview of an AI, the meaning behind common AI terminology, including neural networks, machine learning, deep learning, and the data science, and what AI realistically can and cannot do, and how to spot opportunities to apply, and what you learn from this webinar to your organization, for which it can be used for for change in the prospects of your organization, and how to build a machine learning and a data science projects, and also how to work with AI team and build AI strategy for your organization. And this is the main definition of the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is an attempt to make a computer, a robot, or other piece of technologies think and process data in the same way as humans do. And therefore, it has a study how the human brain thinks, learns, and make decisions when you try to solve a problem or execute a task. According to Professor Pedro Domingos, a prominent researcher in the field, describes there are 5 tribes which it has been segregated. That means artificial intelligence has been segregated into these 5 tribes. Each has its own importance, and each has very complex and different, which is not included one another. Like if you see one is symbiosis, one is of a symbiosis which deals with the logic and the philosophy. Connectionics, which deals with the neuroscience, and the evolutionary is of a evolutionary biology, and of a Bayesian, which deals with the statistics and the probability, and the analogies is with the psychology. These are the 5 tribes which describes this. Now, in this scenario, we are pointing out mainly the Bayesians, that how to use the statistics and the probability, and into which scenario, into which the subterm, the statistics and the probabilities will be coming, and how we are trying to reshaping the data storage technology. That is what mainly we are going to look. And this is the artificial intelligence is not a new task. And again, the artificial intelligence is subset of many other modules, like machine learning is another subset of an artificial intelligence, and the data learning is also another set of an artificial intelligence. Machine learning is nothing but about what we discussed about the statistics and the probabilities, understanding of algorithms of a computer, which it will reshape it own self by learning. When it comes to the deep learning itself is of another subset of artificial intelligence. Like there will be a neural science where it will grow on its own. It's like a evolutionary of a machine learning is of what we frame it as a deep learning, which has of a very deeper understanding of the data and everything. That is the deep learning. The impact of an AI, a lot of value has been created by AI, not only the software industry or some scientific research institutes, but the growth of the AI has been exponentially grown. How it has begun, not that much, but from the 21st century, it has grown exponentially high, and it has a huge impact on all the major industries. There are some estimated values that which we have gathered from the trusted resources that has been mentioned below. Uh, if you look at this, these are the values and the amount which these are the fields has been encouraged and has been provided as a provider from the various organizations for the growth and the development of these organizations. Like retail, it has almost gathered 8.2 trillion, and the travel 480 billion, transport and the logistics 475 billion. Like that, basic materials, advanced electronics, healthcare systems, high tech, telecom, oil and gas, agriculture. So each and every field the AI is penetrating. Even the organizations are very liking to get the AI to become a part of their organizations, and they are putting of in very huge investments. And this is also we got it from the very trusted resources. If you look at that, this has been we are comparing the hardware, software, and the services, particularly for the AI, how it has been grown, particularly the demand. See, from the 2017 to 22, if you look at the graph, it is very nominal and it has not grown exponentially. It is nominal. But from the 22, 23, and 24, if you see up to 28, it has all every year it has been double, both the hardware, software, and the services. So that's what we are as it is increasing exponentially. So we are finding a better solutions using the AI, using the AI to make it as a better. That's what from this we are going to deal with this. And how to spot opportunities to apply AI. As from the above pictographs, we know that the artificial intelligence is being used in each field. Whenever the complex data generated and predictors are to be done. So in this webinar, we'll be using a machine learning techniques and the algorithm for reshaping of a data storage techniques, which is our focus from this webinar. And the reshaping of a data storage. Businesses must entirely realize that the data they generate, the usefulness of the data, elimination of unwanted data, the lifespan of that data, also be able to organize the data, including the pitchfork for the compliance checks, data optimization, data cataloging, and data governance. All of these are the formidable challenges for each and every organizations. And also they have to look at the granularity of the data has potential to give the insights into a variety of predicted and the unpredicted behavior and the incidents. Because of that, see the usefulness of the data, elimination of unwanted data, and the lifespan of the data, that is what we need to be predicted, is based on the predicting how the risk is realized. Having access to the large data has a potential to transform the entire organization functioning process. So this is how the pictographical representation of it will be. So once the data is available in the servers or it is flowing in, then there will be a model where the analytics and the data scientists will be doing. That is of nothing but the machine learning and the deep learning. Once the models and whatever the structured data or unstructured data, whatever the format is, once we got the result, that will be pushed onto the applications. From there, again, it will be put onto the front end team with we termed it as identify predictions. With that, the business challenges, that means particularly the organizations is going to look at them and will be changing according to the future requirements. See, due to machine learning, AI has the potential to learn and adapt in a way that conventional machines were not able to, and are able to enhance their performance with more data. It could be adapted for a wide range of a process and decision making for the organizations. This is where AI-enabled storages could come into the picture. AI-enabled storage provides real-time, continuous updates from the various enterprises, data sources, optimizes, does other intelligent automated work on without any human intervention. The advantages of what are the advantages of AI storage? Since the data is a field for AI, it follows that legacy data storage systems need to be transformed into a smarter storage solutions with the capabilities like a deep learning and the GPU processors, which are able to drive the real-time insights. This can be drive some key advantages for AI-enabled storage. We can achieve we can use the AI part for the data storage shipping. This we can achieve by using the which we have discussed about the scalability and the data insights. So the very first point, if you look at it, that is called scalability. The scalability is of data centers operates deploying tools that rely on the machine learning today are benefiting from the initial gains in efficiency and reliability, but they only started to scratch the surface of a full impact of a machine learning will have on a data center management. And machine learning, a subset of artificial intelligence, is expected to optimize every facet of a future data center optimization operations, including planning, designing, managing IT workloads, and ensuring uptime and the controlling cost. Again, the scalability, it has again how we can achieve the scalability is of, again we have an efficiency analysis, and the other is of capacity planning. Effective analysis is of, again machine learning can make recommendations on most effective way to design or configure a data center, including the best physical maintenance placements of IT equipment or a workloads. That is nothing but the IT infrastructure. It can analyze the servers and detect anomalies such as a ghost servers running applications no longer in use. And it can also discover older servers with high workloads and recommends that the IT staff move to more efficient servers that have a lower utilization. See, the other part is of a capacity planning. These two will combine, make it as a more, will confirm us this is the scalability part which we have achieved. And in a capacity planning, a company is consolidating data centers and migrating applications and data to a central data center. Algorithms can help you determine how move affects the capacity at that facility. That is of an applications that are running in one site, or else thousands of applications are running in one site that has to be moved from one site to another site. The movement of the applications, does it make any difficulties for us, or else if we lost some applications, or else we cannot provide them as proper as architecture which we have promised to the clients. So these kind of difficulties also we need to, that will become under the scalability, and this will be the part of the capacity planning. Even they will do this capacity planning analysis. This analysis is a part of a organization building a building new data centers. And you need to be sure as accurate as possible with the data centers. How many servers do you need? How much cooling do you need? How much predicted servers will you need, and how many are not used, and how to shift the work, and how to use all the servers with higher capacity so that the which will decrease the latency. Particularly the latency is of getting sending a request and getting a reply. So there should not be any gap between that. So to overcome all the latency issues, this kind of from the IT infrastructures, this all under fall on this scalability. And this also it has become a part of the AI is of, even this is being done present now. This has been done manually, but now AI has been taken over, and it can give you a predicted module. So what you can do in the next phase, and how you can do achieving this, and even each and every application, how you can shift it or from which server to which server you can move, and how you can distribute the load among the servers, by which even the data centers cannot be headed as a overheat. That is of again a hardware part, infrastructure part overheated, by which it causes of a servers getting down. So that these kind of all the effective things which are very much critical, and till last decade, all the people who are handling this with a huge manual algorithm, with the huge mathematical calculations and the algorithms. But now we are using this on artificial intelligence to take over all this kind of traffic, to reduce the traffic. This is what the scalability, which is follows under this traffic. The other part is of data insight. Data insight is a value obtained using analytics. The insight gained through analytics are incredibly powerful and can be used to grow your business while identifying areas of opportunity. This has been quoted by a localist blog. So data insights refer to understanding of a particular business phenomena you can achieve by using a machine learning and artificial intelligence technology to analyze the data sets. Okay, this is the pictographical representation of a data insights. See, this is the server where it can have a live data, or live streaming data, stored data. So this will be passed on to the AI algorithms. For the then here there will be actions are done by the some other. There are other parts in the data insights. There are descriptive, predictive, diagnostic, and prospective. All together makes as a data insights. Based upon the requirements, we need to use them. And once we get the result to our action, that will be passed on to the actionable insights. Okay. So data insights. This is what now the people are calling it. Insights are the new gold, not the data, as the data is worth very little unless this data is turned into the critical actionable insights. The people has a belief that they call it as a data as a gold, but AI people doesn't call data as a gold. How much data you are capable to extract the information what you required, and you can keep it into the actionable insight. That is the goal. That is what they're calling it, the scrutinizing of the data, which can be used for the growth of a organization. That is the goal. That is the era of an artificial intelligence. See, these insights can be used to support decision making and can help in refining the design and manufacturing process. Machine learning also accomplish different applied data mining tasks. Again, there are data insights again consists of four different scenarios. One is of a descriptive analytics, other is of a predictive analytics, the other is of a diagnostic analytics, and the prospective analytics. What does the descriptive analytics mean? Descriptive data analytics provide insight into the past and the present. Data summarization, visualization, clustering, data association, and a sequence discovery are the common tasks in the descriptive analysis. So this descriptive analysis can generate insight about the current conditions of the mission. This deals with the present conditions of the mission. And the other part is of a predictive analytics. Predictive analytics forecasts the future. So predictive analytics uses classification, regression, and the time series analysis to provide information like anomaly prediction, failure, risk score, time to failure, or remaining useful life estimate, and are degrading the trends. And a predictive model can also perform the health assessment and the anticipates any incipient failures or the anomalies. And the predictive model can perform health assessment and the anticipates any incipient problem or a possible failure or the anomalies. This is what the predictive analytics is of. And the other part is of a diagnostic analytics. Diagnostic analytics provide root cause analysis, and it uses the technique like events and the causal factor analysis, change analysis, barrier analysis, fault tree analysis, and natural language processing to provide the explanation for the cause of a possible breakdowns. This is we all know that the diagnosis means which is occurred, and we need to look over into that. and this is what it will expect. It is of expect C possible breakdown based upon the data. It will look into the possible breakdowns. And other one is of a prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analysis advise on the possible outcomes and their anticipated impacts. This employs a different AI technique from the machine learning algorithm interfaces, optimization, and natural language to provide a recommendation to mitigate any possible risk in the mission. And this also can process information about the current status of the mission. This always look into the current status. This always mainly look into the mission parts. And this pictographical representation, okay, so the relation and the sequential functioning of all these analytical modules, that is what we had mentioned in the second point. So prescriptive analysis model can process information about the current status of the mission, and the next step will be the descriptive analytics, which take care of the health assessment. And the next part, it will be the predictive analytics, okay, module of any other prior knowledge that may be available. So this is the pictographical representation of how the AI is watching over the missions when there is of any anomalies or any action that are happening. So it catches the vibration, even it catches the apparent noises, it catches the heating up, or even it catches the smoke also. So these kind of all the data will be connected, and they will keep it ready for the pre-processing, and that will be passed on to the descriptive, predictive, and the diagnostic. Once condition is monitored, once a health assessment is done, then they will look over the root cause analysis. And this prescriptive, they kept this as a last as of prescriptive is it will look into the future. Based upon checking that what are the conditions, what caused these kind of vibrations or noises or smoke and these kind of. So when could this happen? And it will calculate over the events. So on all this will be shared onto the decision making. And even this prior knowledge is of even we can add some anomalies to this analytics and say that this event has also happened previously, which hasn't been recorded. Even that kind of analysis also we can provide that. So even that based upon the comparison, based upon the events comparison, even conditions comparison, they will bring out a analogy, and that will be given unto that by based upon that they will make up a decision. And this is what is it. Now my colleague Muthu Kumar will be taking over from here. And thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Good evening. Good morning. Thanks, Pramod, for giving the insight of two areas. One is the scaling and scalability and data insight. So before getting into the defense sector overview, so I want to make a thought process what Pramod has provided. Most of us are already contributing or using the AI and ML for in many ways. Mostly we don't know how, but I think most of the people may know or may not know, but I'll reiterate. So when it coming to the scalability, what Pramod has told, so most of us will be using the smartphones, either Android based or it's Apple based. So when you are using either one of the phone, you will be taking a lot of photos and your data. Already it is uploaded to your cloud. So that's the thing where Pramod touched with the scalability. So the data what we are using, we must have subscribed for 200 GB, 100 GB independently. So think about it is the amount of data where it goes from the phone itself. I'm not coming to the other industries, only the phone, where the huge market is the telecom industry. Everyone using the phones, everyone taking the photos and uploading to this. That's the thing. The scalability is one of the challenges where this AI and ML industry going to face. So already you must have subscribed for every monthly based model or something. That's the reason the one key area scalability is one of the key areas. So coming to the data insight, the second part, you again the photos what people are uploaded, the Android or Google will suggest whose face is this. You will be locking to a particular name, and it will provide. So there are a lot of data analytics also. Image processing is happening. And third point is, have you ever noticed whenever you are going to a mall or a particular place, you will get that area-based SMS. That means people already, mission is learning that you are going to a particular area, and based on your interest, they are popping up the message, or based on your search, what you are doing in your computer or in your phone, you are getting a lot of relevant advertisement on that. So this is the way we are already utilizing or using this MI and AI. So with that touch base, I'm getting into the area where I thought of giving some overview how the defense is going to use or already using this MI and AI. That's just one insight what I am planning to provide on the couple of slides, next couple of 2 slides. So currently, the Indian government, government or India is placed around 17th in the world for adopting the AI and the artificial intelligence. So there is, there is a council called DAG, that is called Defense Artificial Intelligence Council, which is formulated recently, maybe 3-4 years back, which will provide a policy and framework how to adopt AI MI to the defense sector and support tri-service. This is TRI. Tri-service means Navy, Air Force, and Army. How to adopt AI MI? They are already in the framework, and you can search in the DIC Defense AI Council's area and get the details. And coming to the challenges, there are multiple challenges because there's the current era. Everyone having a lot of data, and a lot of data are going to and fro. Monitoring the data is one of the biggest challenge, and because of that, the collecting the mass data, because the government try to monitor data also is near impossible. So they need artificial intelligence, machine learning. They want to track some specific data or something, they can do it based on that one. Otherwise, collecting all the data and doing the analysis, it's not going to be easy. So the same problem as I was mentioning about the scalability. Again, the storing. If the Indian defense want to have their own kind of data, they have to store the complete data and who is accessing, whose data it is. So much, even the cybersecurity can attack. Cyber threat will be there for the data also. That's one of the huge challenges the defense is going to face on these areas. And coming to some of the areas where they are currently proactively started working on is that are the use cases I am projecting here. One is the inventory management. Indian defense is one of the biggest one, and it is spread across multiple areas, and each one has their own way of handling it. So inventory management is one of the key areas where what material comes in, what materials is issued, and how they're going to measure maintenance, how they're going to utilize it, and where it is. All these things is one of the key challenges. So that's the thing that AI and ML will be a area that started. Navy already started investing on this area, how to manage these things, and that's one of the key area they are getting into the AI based solutions. The second thing is the training. So you can see, India is one of the toughest terrain in the world. Why I'm saying so is, you see from the north to south, we have different terrains. From northern part, you have Leh Ladakh, where in Siachen kind of area, you will have a snowfall, and it is completely desert area in Ladakh, and surveying itself is different. Survival itself is a difficult area. So if you want to do patrolling, monitoring, it's a huge human burden, task for that. So the Indian government is thinking of deploying artificial intelligence kind of border security that area. And the other area, if you see, the other side is the desert in Rajasthan. And if you go to the northeastern part, it's completely a tropical area. It's a challenging terrain. Coming to the south, if it is, they're surrounded by sea. So all the flavors, how the defense sector has to work in different areas. It's one of the biggest challenge in Indian defense. So bringing the artificial intelligence and MI for training purpose, because we cannot deploy everyone in every area and do the training, correct? So because the Indian volume of the defense forces is very high. So the training based on MI and AL will be the key, going to train them in different terrains and different weapon technologies and different handling things of the defense area is one of the key areas. So there they can save a lot of money when they're getting into the VR or augmented based training systems. The other area was the maintenance part. So as I told, the terrain is a different, toughest terrain we have. So it cannot be the same system can run on different areas, even though they can make it as a standardization for different sectors. But still, there will be a lot of challenges to maintenance, higher altitude, lower temperature, high temperature, and tropical weather, coastal weather. Everything has a different problem in the every area. So as Pramod is pointing out the previous slide, so how the maintenance is perspective analysis they're doing is that will help us a lot. So if you see here, I'm taking as a one example, take it as your even the truck. At higher altitude is a different problem. It even won't start at the temperature. It won't even thrust to start up the system. So it may fail in a different way. Whereas in the coastal area, there will be a salt corrosion is coming up, and it will fail based on the salt, and tropical weather also is a different thing. Whereas Rajasthan, there may be failure of higher temperature. So the challenges are very high. So when you are getting into AI-based model, so you can deploy the sensor which can predict what kind of error will happen in each system, and it can give the early warning or preventive measure to adopt the company. I'm telling one example like truck. Like that, you think about the weapons, think about the aircraft, where there is a huge maintenance is the requirement for the Indian defense. So that's the area where AI and ML they are working it out on that one. And the next point is security and surveillance. As I told, each terrain is a different. Yeah, previous slide only. Each is having a different challenges. So we have a border. We have a international border. Also, we have the line of control. So there is a different model is used for these areas. So the deploying the like kind of unmanned aerial vehicles and the artificial intelligence based cameras, where it can identify a human movement, and all this thing will help us them to actively monitor the border areas. So that's one of the key area on security and surveillance, where the defense is getting very aggressively into these areas. And you people must have noted, seen recent development in China, India. A lot of things are happening. See, even though in LCA, that line of control, line of access, whatever they call it, they're planning for a artificial intelligence based, with including the augmentation from the satellites. So it monitors the development as well as the people movement, and give a prediction model what's happening in the border area. So these are the key areas where defense is going to get into the artificial intelligence and AI based solutions. Yeah. Pramod, can you go to the next slide? Next one. So when I touch base the Indian defense, it is the globally, it is also they're getting into this kind of a solution where they want to make the augmentation based reality. So when you come to the military, the deduction is one of the main deduction in the sense basically for surveillance part. So now there are a lot of development is happening in the video analytics area. So face recognition, people where they are moving and who is moving, all this kind of deduction is one of the thing. And second thing is planning. So planning in the sense, not only the troop movement, deployment, convoy movement, all this thing comes into this one. Because, we are not only monitoring the other side of the border, they are also monitoring other side. So we need to have upper hand when you are doing a planning or mission. So the artificial intelligence is one of the key area where the planning will support a lot on how stealth we can go and do the mission planning. And third point is field operation. So getting the real-time information and quick assessment, because now in the data of telecom era, so the lot of data is collected, how to utilize it. That is the thing AI will come in the picture for military to support. And again, the support functionalities, which is mostly on the recruitment as well as the inventory management, all this thing is the area where military is actively going globally. These are the trends happening in the military areas. When coming to the police sector, that is the inland security. So a lot of AI algorithm already we may be facing day to day also. You must have got a ticket from a traffic police without your notice. You jumped across. That's basically the CCTV. They're taking your number plate, analyzing what is the data, and it's able to generate this point of time you did the signal jumping. So think about that kind of already the police cybercrime people are utilizing the understanding the vehicle movement. So that's the reason you can see the recent case histories of different cases, the robbery and all. They're able to utilize actively the CCTV cameras in the roads and able to close the robbery issues within no time, within a week or so. They're able to do it. So already police are getting actively using the artificial intelligence in this in that area. And again, the second thing is planning. Again, the police is one of the good source for traffic management. There, even though they are maintaining the controlling the traffic, the other bodies are doing the planning for the traffic mobilization. So, but the data collected by the police department in the cyber thing, they will give active planning for infrastructure also. That is one of the key areas where AI is getting into the thing. And again, the field operation, now you can see every police person having the camera and the POC, point of sale device. Directly they can get download your data if you did a signal jump. So many things are happening, not only from the traffic point of view, even the cyber crime also they are monitoring actively who is moving and monitoring the mobile phones of the people. So many things are happening from the police setup, but there is a man in loop happening. But still, there are a lot of projects are going where artificial intelligence is getting into the plan. So this is the area where police is actively working. And coming to the border security, so one of the key element is a deduction. So you can see the people are moving in a different country for a different purposes, not only for good, also for bad. So they easily can trace it out, who is going where and what is the history. When it run through a artificial intelligence, easily you can track where and all they went and what for they went. So that data of analysis already border security is implementing, and even before getting into any of the international thing, they can catch hold of you before getting into inland. So that is the thing. Some of the project is going on. And even before itself, the planning that if somebody is applied for visa itself, there is now they are utilizing the artificial intelligence to identify the person where is a good. They're rejecting the or giving the visa kind of things. Also, border security is utilizing the things. So these are some of the areas where the defense sector and the police services are using the AI intelligence. And before closing my speech, I want to say that, see, most other people must have watched the movie called Angel Has Fallen. So there you can see the drones will recognize the face and get into the stealth mode. So it may be a reality within another 5 years. So that's it from my end. Thanks for attending my session. And yeah, Pramod, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Mani, for such wonderful insights on the topic. So, audience, we are now open to the question and answers, and you can park your questions in the Q&A box that you see somewhere at the top or bottom of your screen. Meanwhile, I would request Pramod and Mr. Mani, both of you, to take the questions which we already have by some people in the audience. So Pramod, over to you for the questions.
Okay. See, the question has been asked by Shukla. How artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning differ from each other? Okay, see, artificial intelligence, the machine learning and the deep learning are the subsets of artificial intelligence. The combination of the machine learning and deep learning called the artificial intelligence. So machine learning only look into the algorithms and it will adapt itself over the algorithms and all this. This is one subset. When it comes to the deep learning, deep learning will create the algorithm based upon the analysis over the algorithms. So this is the deep learning is some kind of a neuroscience part, whereas the machine learning is as a statistics. And the next question is anonymous attendee. What is overlifting? See, overlifting is nothing but we know that there is a lot of data has been generating minute by minute and second by second. See, the biggest difficulty is of overfitting. How is of when we try to analyze the data, there will be some kind of noise. Noise is nothing but the unrelated data that will be also flowing into the analysis part, so which will be criticalizing our analysis. That is of a time requirement. So that we need to be careful what kind of data is getting which has been analyzed. So these kind of things will be overfitting. For this again, we need to get into the deep learning. The fitting in the machine learning has been overcoming in the deep learning by providing it neural points. And this is asked by Pati. And how can a professional with experience in designing and manufacturing can use this in his roles? I think my colleague Muthu sir can give this.
So this is a good question, but I'm not a manufacturing person. I'll post the answer to you separately, Chandan. I have to get in touch with the manufacturing team, and because already they are using it some of our area. So right now I don't have answer for that, but I'll post it separately to you via our colleague.
Okay. And then okay. See, as we spoken already, there is what we calling it as a that is of the useful data and the unused and lead to excess and excess unused useful data. See, this unused data, even they are not differentiating it as a part of the in the machine learning. We already discussed about this is of a statistical and a probability. So when it comes to the statistical and the probabilities, most of these useful or unuseful data, everything is getting and has been trying to be analyzed. So that when it comes to the deep learning, these kind of unused useful data, these kind of data, there has been creating a what do you call it, a kind of a partition, and they are storing it there. And by the time being, whenever there is of less load on it, it will this artificial intelligence will be looking over this, and it will be fetching the data which is of necessary. Okay. And the other one is of Karim Khan. How can we use machine learning or artificial intelligence in a software development? Yeah, that is what we need to. Artificial intelligence is again it is of machine learning is again it is of artificial intelligence only. See, this machine learning, it is of a statistical and a probability, again the same point. So in the software development role, how can we use this? For example, if you take at the data that has been generated, as it has been said by my colleague Muthu, as it is of a, for example, he has told about the tracks, tracks and the different terrains. So we need to collect all the data, and we need to provide, we need to analyze it by using the machine learning based upon the algorithms. So we need to use all the machine learning algorithms whichever are fit for our requirements. And that is how we can analyze the data. This we can do it by the software. Okay, that is done. And the next question is, how can we use AI to read, write, and process simulate data? Having a size data in analysis file, having a size of over 50 GB. This has been asked by Piyush. I think when it comes to the machine learning AI part, 50 GB is very less. I think it could achieve this in almost I think 5 to 10 minutes. Why? Because daily now it has been a zettabyte of data. From alone Facebook alone, it can generate a zettabyte of data per day, like Instagram. These are the common, like YouTube, and all these are creating a zettabyte of data. Even if you look at this, what do you call it, ads. Well, if you are in a one state, and again if you go to the next state, automatically the ads will be changed there. Or else, if you open a Zomato and if you pick up an order of some kind of any order, see that kind of data again you will get on the YouTube apps. So these kind of so it is scrutinizing zettabytes of the data. So it will use it. It can be easily done. Analysis file having over 50 GB, that is of a very less size. So now it is dealing with the zettabytes of data. It is already been achieved. So again, they were using the same data insights, both the prescriptive, descriptive, and the diagnostic analytics. All this one will come under the data insights. And how can use AI algorithm to identify geometry of the components with the 3D data files? Again, which are the data? This question has been asked by Piyush Single. Every data, whatever the data, and whatever either it belongs to geometry or either it belongs to the software, either it belongs to anything. Every data, whichever it falls under the data insights. So again, they divided it into the prescriptive, disruptive, and the diagnostic. They use any 2 or 3 modules. So they will feed the algorithm. For the starting point, we'll create the algorithms. Machine learning will keep on developing over the algorithms. So whichever, if it is of a 3D component files, we need to create a 3D component file algorithms that we need to give it to the machine learning. So over the additional of the append of the data, the algorithms keep on growing it automatically, so that we can achieve this. This falls under the data sets. Only we need to give the basic structure algorithm for the machine learning. Over the time, it will adapt itself and it will recreate itself and it will evolve itself, so that we can do this geometry also. Only the part is of we need to identify the right module, right machine learning algorithm module, which will provide, which will deal with the 3D data files. Okay, is there any more questions?
Okay.
Shilpa answered, right, all the questions?
Yes. So all the questions that we had on the Q&A box that have been answered, I would request the audience, if they have any further questions, they can still drop the same in the Q&A box. Meanwhile, I would request everybody to just quickly take this poll that they see on their screens right now. And while people are taking this poll, I'd request, if anybody has any questions, they can still drop in their queries and we would take a question or two before we wind up the session. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking this poll. I'm going to end this. And we have another question. No. Okay. So all the questions have been answered. In case you have any questions later, you can always drop your questions to, you can mail your questions to us on contact@saracasolutions.com. It was a pleasure hosting all of you today. And thank you everybody for being here with us. Thank you, Mr. Mani and Pramod, for sharing such valuable insights on the topics today. With that, we end this evening. Good evening, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.